Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're all having a fantastic evening. Tonight I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. This is going to be showcasing a collection video. So this collection video is going to be of my Monster Pictures films. So Monster Pictures is a really good company that specialises in horror, mostly extreme horror, although not all their films are extreme, but the majority of them are. So it's of a different kind of level of horror. I'm a massive fan. I've collected some really good titles from this company, and they're continuing to release really good films. So if you haven't heard of Monster Pictures, I would highly recommend you check it out. I'll leave a link in the description bar to their website. They just love horror, and they bring out some really twisted stuff. So I really like them. I've got a massive collection of their films, so I thought I would showcase them. So hopefully you get a few new titles that you may not have heard of before, and make you want to go out there and see some new horror films. So to start off with, we're going to go to a Monster Nasties collection, and this is Easter Bunny Kill Kill. I reviewed this film not long ago. I've reviewed some of these films, but there's other films that I haven't watched. So Easter Bunny Kill Kill, this one was pretty good. Chad Ferrin is a really good director. I'm a big fan of his, and this one is really low budget, so it's not going to appeal to everybody, but if you want something that's really nasty, unapologetic, then Easter Bunny Kill Kill is definitely one to check out. Next up, we have the sequel to the Human Centipede, Human Centipede 2. I didn't like Human Centipede 1. I haven't bought that. I have no intention of buying it, but I thought this one looked pretty interesting. I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment, but it looks better than the first one, so I don't know whether or not it is. I didn't have any risk taking it because it was cheap, and so if it's bad, then I didn't have much to lose. But anyway, as soon as I see it, I will be sharing a review. I heard mixed things on it, so I'm not really sure what to expect. And apparently this one is cut by a few seconds. So, yeah, better something than nothing, I guess. Next up, we have the remake of MANIAC, Elijah Wood, who plays the iconic Frank Zito. I haven't seen the original, so I won't be able to compare it to that. Haven't seen this one yet, but really looking forward to it. I heard very good things about it. So, Alexander Aja and Frank Colfun made this film. They're hit and miss. I thought they were much better when they were in France, but since they've gone to the United States, they made a good film in the Hills Have Eyes remake, but the other stuff I really haven't liked, so I'm hoping that Maniac is one that I do like. This one is something that looks really disgusting. This has been banned in New Zealand. Apparently it might be recalled in Australia because it's just supposed to be a very shocking experience. I haven't seen it yet, but this is the one I'm most looking forward to, and that is Thanatomorphos. You see by that cover, you've got a woman who is holding her private part, and she has maggots coming out the side. So it's supposed to be a really shocking film. It's about a woman whose body's rotting and she just can't stop it. So, yeah, it's supposed to be an incredibly shocking and disgusting experience, and I'm really psyched to see this one. So, Thanatomorphos, it took me a little bit to go and get the film because it's been refused. It's been refused by retailers, so you can't get it in the main shops here in Canberra. So I had to go to an independent store to track this one down, but this one looks really disgusting. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to expect with it, but I will be doing a review. This one is a film I enjoyed. This is called Resurrection County. This was decent. It was low budget. There was some iffy acting. There was some iffy sort of characters, the actions that the characters choose to take. But I enjoyed it. It's quite horrific in some parts, and it's definitely a film that's not the worst movie going around, but then again, it's not the best. So it's one of the lesser known monster picture films, and I would say it's one of the lesser quality, but having said that, still one I'd recommend. Next up, we've got Lucky McKee's The Woman. This is a very controversial film. I really liked it. Very gory at the end, and very dark humour in it as well. So you have to have a particular sense of humour to find it funny, but I found it funny in parts. But it's very dark, so it's not the kind of comedy that you laugh at and you feel good about laughing. Next up is another Chad Ferrin film. This is a movie I actually really liked, and this is Someone's Knocking at the Door. It's about serial killers who rape their victims to death. So it's a very sexual sort of film, and it features some very hard to watch rape scenes. So this is different to say the least, and Chad Ferrin, I think this is better than Easter Bunny Kill Kill, and he's one of the most unique directors going around. Next up, we have a film I didn't like at all. This is Sick Girl. Yes, in Sick Girl it was very shocking, but the acting was absolutely deplorable. Some of the worst acting I've seen, and it really took me out. So I didn't enjoy it as much as some people did, but I will say that it is shocking. Next up is a slasher film called SWEATSHOP. I really enjoyed this one. The gore sequences were phenomenal, and I thought the ending really made the film. So it's nothing really, extraordinary. It's just a run-of-the-mill sort of slasher film, but the gore effects are very, very well done. So if you're a gore hound, SWEATSHOP is definitely the film for you. Next one we have Excision. This one has been labelled as a masterpiece in the horror genre. I don't think it is. I think it's a little bit overrated, but having said that, it is very interesting. It's a different take on body sort of horror, a woman slightly going mad, and it has some really good visuals, some very disturbing visuals, but I just don't I don't really subscribe to the thought that it's a masterpiece. I'm just expecting something a little bit more from Excision, but having said that, it's still worth the watch if you're a horror fan. This one is another really overrated film, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to hate me for saying it, but this is American Mary. Soska twins directed this. Very interesting once again, but it's not the masterpiece in my opinion that everybody says it is. It's okay, but it just lacked that quality to make it a sensational film. So it's worth the effort, but it's certainly nowhere near as good as I was expecting it to be. This is a movie that was crap. I hated it. It was just a waste of time. Father's Day. The ending, the last quarter of the film was absolutely ridiculous. It was an insult, and I thought it completely ruined it. It was crap. So this is definitely not coming recommended. Enough said about that rubbish. This is a Serbian movie, and this is Life and Death of a Porno Gang. I think this is better than a Serbian film. I think it's more shocking because it's a lot more realistic. Very hard to watch, some very strong sexual references in it, and some really hard scenes to watch. So it's definitely a movie that I would put in the extreme category, but it's still very good, and I rate it better than a Serbian film. So a Serbian film gets all the attention, but I feel that this movie deserves a lot more. This is a Spanish movie that I haven't seen yet called Blind Alley. It looks interesting. A lot of people have been criticizing it because it looks ridiculous from the trailer. But I don't agree with that. I think it looks okay, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. So it's supposed to be a throwback to the Giallos from Italy, but has a Spanish twist, so looking forward to that one. This is a movie I didn't really like. This is from Romania, Strigoi the Undead. It's an interesting concept, but it just doesn't work in my opinion. I thought it was a little bit too slow, and it just didn't really do it for me as far as a horror film is concerned. This is a South Korean movie. This is very enjoyable. The Yellow Sea. South Korea lately have been producing some pretty brutal films. The Yellow Sea is no exception. I thought it was a little bit too long. It's the same director of The Chaser. But yeah, a little bit too long, but having said that, it is still worth the effort because it does have some really good moments. This is a movie I didn't like at all. This is The Inside. It's an Irish horror film. It was supposed to be extreme. It says, like Wreck, The Inside is one of the most terrifying reality footage films ever. Well, it is terrifying up until the supernatural element takes place. And then it's just a run-of-the-mill generic found footage horror film. Not coming recommended. This is a really funny Irish film. This is Grabbers, a creature feature. I thought it was really charming, and it has some really, really good horror comedy set pieces. So Grabbers is definitely one I'm recommending. This is an insane film from Yoshihiro Nishimura, who did Tokyo Gore Police. This is Hell Driver. I really enjoyed this one. If you're a fan of this sort of Japanese insanity, Hell Driver is definitely one I would recommend. Very, very silly, so don't take yourself seriously, but if you want a good time, Hell Driver will, it should be the movie for you. And then we finish off with two British films. You've got F, that is hated by many. I don't know why, because I thought this is one of the most underrated horror films going around. I thought it has a very strong message on today's society, especially in Britain. But I really enjoyed this one. And then last but not least, this is a horror comedy masterpiece, one of my favourite films in horror, and that is Inbred. I love this movie. I thought it got everything right, ticked all the boxes, has some great gore, some really good laughs, and just a really, really good ending. So Inbred is the movie that really, won me over completely, and I've watched this numerous times, and I just never get bored of it. It's just absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, please do yourself a favour, track yourself down a copy, and give it a look, because you will not be disappointed. Alright guys, so that's my Monster Pictures films collection. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully this video wasn't too long for you. If so, then I apologise, but I thought it'd be interesting to showcase some of my Monster Picture films. I'm going to obviously be getting more because, as I said, this company is very good, so hopefully, fingers crossed, they continue to deliver the really extreme stuff that not any other company will really touch. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.